What do you do without the ball? Sadly, in modern basketball, a lot of times the other offensive players stand around and watch a player dribble. You saw this a lot with James Harden, who would go out clubbing and proceed to drop 40 the next night for the Houston Rockets. But this is boring and not winning basketball. Don't believe me? Here's Kobe to back me up.
James Harden, of course, crazy streak this season. What do you think of what he's doing right now?
Well, I think I'm not a fan of in terms of winning championships. I don't think that style is ever going to win championships.
So are you saying you don't think James Harden and the Rockets, as constructed, can win a title?
Not with this style of play, it won't win, right? With one player dominating the ball.
In this video, we will teach you winning offensive basketball. Now, we all know that basketball is a team sport, and moving without the ball is a crucial skill that can help you become a more effective offensive player. So whether you're a beginner or Michael Jordan, these tips will definitely improve your game. Let's dive right in. Basketball is easier when you play unpredictably. An easy way to do this off the ball is to change your speed and direction. One of the keys to moving without the ball is to never stand still. Constant movement keeps the defense guessing and creates opportunities for your teammates to find you. So whether it's cutting to the basket or relocating to open spots, always stay on the move, change your speed and direction, and be a constant threat to the defense. Using your body to get open is perhaps one of the most under-taught skills, but it is extremely important when trying to get open. If a player is denying you, you can walk them into the screen, as you see here with Steph Curry. Steph Curry is always being face guarded, and using contact and walking his defenders into screens is one of his greatest skills. We all know him as the greatest shooter of all time, but an underrated part of Steph's game is his ability to get open. If he couldn't get open the way he does, he wouldn't be able to get off the amount of threes that he does on a game-to-game basis. Everyone knows what a back cut is, but when do you back cut? The read I tell my players to make is that when the defender is denying and further from the rim than you, cut to the rim. And if you are a good player like LeBron James, a lot of times the defense is going to deny you and you should backdoor. Now, when you are not being denied and you are perhaps on the weak side of the floor, you should be either spotting up for an open three or cutting. But when do you cut versus when do you just spot open on the backside for an open three? The perfect time to cut is when your defender is in help position and turns his head. The last time I checked, comment if I'm wrong on this, but human beings do not have eyes in the back of their heads. I think I can say that with some confidence. So when your defender turns his head, this is a great time to be sneaky. Tip number 4 is called the 45 cut. The 45 cut gets its name because that's the angle at which you're cutting to the rim. And who said you would never use geometry in real life? The 45 cut is a perfect time to use when you're on the extended free throw line and when your defender is in help gap position. This puts the guy guarding the man in the corner in a tough position. He has to stay near the paint, but now his man's open in the corner for a potential three. If your defender steps up just a little, as you see on the screen, it provides an opportunity for a 45 cut. Or if you're a bad shooter, maybe your name is Ben Simmons, that is an opportunity to do the 45 cut as opposed to spotting up for three. The 5th tip for this video is called the Steph Cut. It's pretty simple. After you pass the ball, after a drive, cut to the 3-point line. A lot of times, your defender will pat themselves on the back for stopping you on the drive and rest for a second. This is a perfect opportunity to cut to the 3-point line to get a bucket. The final tip for this video is how to use an off-ball screen. The first part of a screen is perhaps the most overlooked, the setup. Before a screen, take your defender away from where you want to go. This should involve a change of speed and direction. Ray Allen is one of the best shooters in NBA history and a god at getting an open look. Here he takes his defender away with a change of speed and direction before hitting an open three. And here he is on the Supersonics doing the exact same thing. Steph Curry being super clever, acting like he's resting before running to the 3-point line for an open three, and of course knocking it down. And here is Jason Tatum faking high before cutting to the rim. Take a look at the hard jab step with his right foot to sell the fake. Ray Allen, again, taking his defender away to the middle of the paint before receiving a pin down screen on the other side. And Steph Curry with a nasty move here, putting his defender in a spin cycle with a little jab step and spin move of himself before the screen even occurs. Now that's all before the screen. As an off-ball screen is occurring, there are 5 reads you can make. Let's start off with a curl. A player should curl when the defender guarding him trails the screen. This is a simple and very common read that all players should be making. The goal when setting up the screen is to get your defender behind you so you can have an easy path to the rim. The curl does not always have to end in a layup, as you see here with Rip Hamilton knocking in a 10-foot jump shot. A lot of times, teams will trail good shooters, which provides opportunities to curl to the paint. The next read is a shot cut. You want to do this shot cut when there is space between the defender and the offense, or if the defender runs straight into the screen. The shot cut is self-explanatory. You shoot the ball. Typically, when you think of pin down screening action, the shot cut is what comes to mind for most basketball fans. Again, when there's already a lot of space between you and the defender on a down screen, you run to the three-point line to shoot the ball. If the defender is right next to the offense during the screen, the offensive player should curl, as we just talked about. The third read is my personal favorite, the flat cut. When the defender tries to cheat and go under the screen, the offense flares out to the corner. Steph Curry is probably the best at this read, and here he is doing it to perfection. The player receiving the screen should act like they are curling before hard planting and fading to the corner. When I coach these reads, I tell my players to think of reading a screen like tag. You want to stay as far away from the opponent as possible. That makes it simple for the players to understand. Another key aspect of the flat cut is the screener repositioning while the screen is happening. I'm not saying the screener should move, but he should at least adjust his angle to help his teammate get open. The next read is a back cut. A player should back cut when their defender is denying them the screen or playing top lock, as some coaches say. The read here is if the defense is further from the rim than you, cut behind them to the rim for an easy layup. This is a great read because it keeps the defense honest when guarding down screens. The final read for off-ball screens is the screener slipping. The screener should slip when his defender helps and is further from the hoop than him, or if the defense switches the screen. Here's a few instances of the Golden State Warriors doing this to perfection. The Warriors are elite at slipping because they have a shooter like Steph Curry to screen for. Defenses help to guard Steph for just 1 second and the Warriors slip to the rim for an easy bucket. So when you are screening for your best player in your game, expect to slip. And that is all for moving without the basketball. If there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, get buckets.